Okay, here's Miss Ripley. She's ready for her haircut. I have her leash on her, and I have her secured to the table. I'm cutting her hair on a just a plastic table, so it's easy to clean afterward. I recommend using a table like that if you have a card table or something that you want to set up so that you can clean easily. You can buy professional grooming tables. I know that my sister Carly uses a professional grooming table to groom her dog. I don't have one, so I'm just using this table, and it's going to be fine. I'm not worried about it at all. So we mentioned before that the main concern is her face, and I have done a little bit of trimming on her face, as I was saying earlier, with the blunt tip scissors to get her used to having scissors by her face and not being afraid of them. And I just don't like hair in my dog's eyes, and she has really big eyes and they can be injured really easily, and you don't like a hair in your eye when you get one in there. So that's what I want to mainly cut here on her face today, these hairs, see, that get stuck up in her eye. So we're gonna start by combing her face. I know, combing all the hair around her face so we can get it, when we cut it, it cuts in a nice pretty line. I know, it's so tangly. You're so good. So see, she's holding really still and she's letting me brush her face, even though it is a little tangly or just a little crusty from her eyes weeping. She is being really good and letting me brush her face even though it's uncomfortable. And this is because I've had her for several weeks and I just brush her face every day so that she'll get used to it. And also, nobody likes a tangly face every day, do they? No, they don't. Being so good. You're being so good. Now she's just a puppy, 9 months old, and I haven't had her for very long, so I don't know what her previous owner worked on with her. So we're kind of starting from scratch, and that's why we just started a new habit of being brushed every day. Also, her hair, as you can see, is like long and crazy, and so it does get really tangly. And so I just try to take care of her hair and not have it matted by brushing her every day. Huh. So she let me hold her face in my hand and be really calm and not move. And that's from me just working with her, holding her face and brushing her every day. Okay, so now we're going to take our blunt tip scissors because we're going to be cutting the hair around her eyes. And so what you want to do is brush the hair out from the face so that you can see when you brush it out from the face, it's really long. Here, let me move that a little. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut this hair so that it doesn't go down off of her face into her eye. Good girl. I know. You've been so good. Good job. And then once you do a little cut, and if you've never done this before, then you can give a little rest. Because it can be stressful and scary to your dog for you to have scissors and stuff by their face. If you've never done it before, then they don't know what you're doing to them. So I just want to make sure that I get even so that there's not going to be hairs coming down later and getting in the way. Good job. Good girl. Good. You're being so nice. Yes, you are. And as I cut, I try to fluff the hair away from her eye, so as I cut it, it doesn't fall in her eye either. You're being so nice. You are. It's good to encourage your dog as you work with them when they're being good, because They're doing what you want them to do, and it's stressful getting your hair cut, isn't it? See how I'm holding her face? Most dogs are really uncomfortable with you doing that. You're in a lot of control over them when you have their face like that, and so it's really stressful for them. But she's being good, and she'll let me do it. Aren't you? Okay. Oh, sometimes you need to take a little break. Take a little break. Yes. But she's happy, her tail's wagging, she's doing really, really good. Aren't you? Yeah. Here. I know. She's like, you already did one eye. I don't want you to do the other one. Good job. Good job. Get those hairs out of your eyes. Yes, we're getting those hairs out of your eyes. You're being so good. And dogs like this that have long hair will also have really long eyelashes. So the eyelashes are to keep stuff from falling in their eye, but sometimes they are really, really long and out of control, and you have to cut those too. But you just have to be really, really careful. Good job. What a good girl. What a good girl. Just one more cut. I know. You're being good. Whoa. You're being good. Hold still. Good job. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Good. Oh, good. Good job. Good job. What a good girl. Yeah, that's so nice. Oh, I forgot one of my brushes. So never leave your dog unattended at the table. I forgot one of my brushes in the other room, and so I'm going to unhook her. And you can either let them down on the floor or take them with you. I'm going to take her with me so she doesn't think we're done. Ta-da, my missing brush. This is the brush that we've been working with every day. It's really got the bristles far apart, but it brushes really good. It is a gentler brush than the de-shedding brush is. The de-shedding brush is kind of made to grab on their hair that's going to fall out and pull it. And so it can be uncomfortable for your dog. So I recommend when you're training to use a brush that's not as uncomfortable so that they get used to it being a happy experience. And so we just brush every day like this, and you can see she's standing still and letting me brush her. She knows that we just do this every day, and so it's going really well. That's the key to grooming your dog at home, is practicing all the time so that they get used to you doing things like this. It will also help you when you go to the vet office because the vet does things to your dog's face and their body that can be uncomfortable. They're up on the table. So if you train like this at home, your dog will be better at the vet. And you can, if you want your dog to go to the groomer, like you don't want to cut your dog's hair all the time, like I do, you can do this at home, and then your dog will be good for the groomer too. So anything that you can do at home to help your dog succeed out in the world is totally worth it. So now, the next area of hair that's the problem area is this hair in between the nose and this hair's on top of the nose right here that flip up into her eye. So that's what we're going to try and cut next. So it's best if you can hold your dog's head this way and pull their skin back so that you can get a good view of this hair that's in between their nose. If they're not used to holding holding their head this way, they might be a little wiggly, and you definitely want to use the blunt tip scissors for this so you don't poke their eye. And she has really big eyes, so when I hold her head like this, it looks like I'm bugging her eyes out of her head. But it's just holding the skin up so we can get access to this hair. And if your dog won't let you hold their head that way, you can try. She seems to be more comfortable when I hold her head this way with my thumb, oops, sorry camera, with my thumb on top instead of my hand on top. So you just have to experiment and work with your dog and see what they're the most comfortable with. But she seems really comfortable to let me hold her face this way. And then we're just gonna, I know, we don't want to do this anymore. then we're just gonna cut the hair and flip it out of her face. Cut the hair and flip it away until we get all of the little hairs that are gonna go in her eye. I know you're gonna be so pretty. You're gonna be so pretty after we cut all the hair. Let's go. Good job. Good job. Oh, what a good job. What a nice girl. Okay, now I think we need to have a little rest again. But we're just gonna keep working. So with low stress grooming, and so we're not done all the way yet. So we're just gonna take a little brushing break. Here, go for the camera. Good, good. Okay, so now, just like I did with her eyebrows, I'm trying to brush the hairs the hairs that I don't want up so I can see them really good. I know. She doesn't like it because it's the hair's up in her face, and that is the reason why we're going to cut it off, right? I know. So now that we have these hairs fluffed up so we can see them good, that's what we're going to cut. Again with our blunt scissors. Good, good. And if at all possible, it's the best if you, even though their tips are blunt, point the tips of the scissors, if you can, away, always away from the eye, not towards it, so that if your dog makes a sudden movement, then you don't poke their eye. I know. Hold still. Good. And if, you know, I'm just trying to be gentle, so if she jerks her head, I'm not holding it really tight. I'm letting her move it a little bit. Because we're trying to be gentle and just get her used to it. Eventually, because we're going to be doing this all the time, eventually she should just let me hold her face and let me cut her hair. Just like this. Good. Good. Good job. Yeah, good. And then probably for her, like, I would probably call that good for today. And then continue, like, then if I want to do her beard, then do her beard tomorrow. Because that was really stressful and she did really good, and we've never done anything like this before. So, I mean, this was a success. She was really good. I'm going to let her down and have a little break because I'm really proud of how she behaved, and I'm going to be done for today.